The bail application of a 52-year-old man who allegedly killed 7 members on Christmas Day outside Malamulele in Limpopo has just concluded. Enoch Ndou allegedly shot and killed his 2 nephews, the wife of one of the nephews, and the couple's 4 children. But let's cross now to our reporter Pimani Baloyi for more information. Pimani, what is the latest on this case?
Good afternoon, Diavo. As you were just stated, the court application has been concluded and Mr. Enoch Ndou has been denied bail. Diavo, this was a lengthy court application, bail application that started with Mr. Ndou taking to the stand to apply for bail, and he gave his personal circumstances for reasons why. And then we saw the state taking over the case to bring in the investigating officer who also testified. I'm going to bring in a family member to react to this, Diabo, before we get into the nitty-gritties of arguments made in court. Ms. Tendo Mulauzi. Tendo, Mr. Ndou has been denied bail. What's the family's reaction to this?
As the family, we are happy that he has been denied bail, because we can see that indeed the law is taking its course, and we are assured of our safety, that we are not so worried, because we are worried that if he's released on bail, what is he going to do to us and some of our family members? So we are happy and we are pleased with the outcome of the court that he has been denied bail. And we are hoping that as the court is going to continue on April, that justice will see justice taking its course as we did today.
There were shocking revelations as Mr. Ndou testified in court, Tendo, like things like how he has property to the value of more than 2 million that he fears he might lose if he's not released on bail. Things that the state stated that he actually did not hand himself over, but he had intended to lay a charge against some family members. How did you receive this testimony in court?
It was surprising and shocking to us, although some of the family members were aware of his property, but we did not know to the extent that he had property. And also we were under the impression that he handed himself over. We did not know that he was trying to open a case saying that someone was trying to take the gun from him. So it was quite shocking. It was quite a shocking revelation to us, some of the information that we received in there.
And as a family, are you seeing a remorseful family member after you've lost 7 of your family members, very young children and people who were breadwinners in the family?
No, we do not see him as being remorseful, because he's talking about the value of his property. What about the lives that were lost because of we see him trying to defend himself and trying to bring his personal circumstances to the court, but he makes no mention of the lives that were lost during the incident. So we don't see him being remorseful of that. We just see him trying to defend himself and trying to continue with his life the way it was before these crimes were committed.
And Tendo, before I let you go, I understand this is a heartbreaking situation where there are people left behind, and as a family you're trying to pick up pieces. But there's also a 9-year-old. Can we go back to him? How is he coping? Has he gone back to school? Is he coping better without his parents?
He has gone back to school, to a different school than he was before. So we think he is coping, but we do not know to what extent. Like we said previously, we'll continue to seek help from social development. Whenever we observe anything, we'll contact the social development so that the social worker can help us navigate the situation. It is difficult not only for him, but for all the family members who have lost their siblings, our cousins, our nephews, our nieces. So you can understand that as a family, we are all going through a tragic moment. Even though the burial has passed, but now we are still in mourning. So we are mourning, all of us as a family, and we continue to seek help in regards to coping whenever we can receive the help.
Thank you so much, Tendo. I'm going to bring in a community leader who's also been in court. Some of the reasons mentioned that the state emphasized on when it was denying bail was that the community the suspect, Mr. Ndou, will not be safe as the community is enraged. So let me speak to Mr. Baloyi, Mr. Ndou, to get his reaction. Mr. Baloyi, how do you react? Mr. Ndou has been denied bail.
Yeah, I can say partially we are happy. The only thing that worried us so much, we had to fight for the way through this court. We were disallowed at the gate, but eventually we managed to get inside. So we are partially happy with what the court has decided on him for denying him the bail. That is good of us. We feel good, and we want to say to the community out there that thank you for the support. Continue to support, because this is one of the reasons that the court considered when denying him the bail, to say that he won't be safe. Even the community won't be safe when he is granted a bail.
Thank you so much, Mr. Baloyi. There is a community leader from Jimmy Jones Village talking about this bail application. As I'm to go back just a bit, there were testimonies from Mr. Enoch Ndou, who testified in court stating that he feels he should be released on bail, stating that there are several soccer teams in the Jimmy Jones Village which depend on him financially, where he says he buys them kits and ensures that they are transported to various tournaments, and that they have balls and other necessary equipment to ensure that they run tournaments in the area. He also stated under oath that, he works as a specialized, skilled, a professional nurse at the Mahikeng Provincial Hospital in the Northwest, stating that there's a lot of patients that depend on him to ensure that they are safe. But the state came in, they brought in the investigating officer who testified that even though Mr. Ndou did not have any pending cases and all of that, it is not true that Mr. Ndou actually handed himself over to police. What the state is saying is that Mr. Ndou actually went to the Toyando police station after the shootings and wanted to lay a charge against family members, stating that somebody in the family tried to dispossess him of his licensed firearm, and in that process he managed to overpower them and take over the firearm and started shooting randomly. And that's when he left the homestead and went to the police station to say, there's people who tried to steal my firearm. And the state is saying the Toyando police station then called the Malamulele police station, where they were informed that that's actually not the case, that there are 7 family members who have been gunned down by the same firearm and the same suspect, and that they must arrest him right away. So it seems, Diabo, the state presented a case that Mr. Ndou would not be safe if he was released, that, community members at Jimmy Jones Village were very angry and on several occasions had threatened his life, and that the state felt that he might also take his own life because apparently he had told witnesses days prior to the shootings that he's going to kill one of the deceased and that he would not leave behind 2 years after the killing. So, Diabo, Mr. Ndou was denied bail, and when the magistrate gave this ruling, he stated that these were his exact words: Mr. Ndou would be in grave danger if he was released to go back home, even though Mr. Ndou stated that if released, he would go back to his workplace in the Northwest, where he said, he lived in a secure estate that is secured by the Department of Health, who is his employer in the Northwest, and that, the Mafikeng area, according to him, is a safer place with high police visibility, where he felt he would be safe. But the state kept saying, people from Jim Jones can travel to Mafikeng and come and endanger your life, and that you might even come back to Jimmy Jones and endanger more family members as well as locals in this area. This court case will be going back back to court on the 22nd of April, we will be getting more reactions from the NPA as well as more community members to see how they react to Mr. Ndou's being denied bail. Diabo.
Pimani, just before I let you go, just to remind our viewers the source of this case, if I understand correctly, it had to do with a family house feud of sorts. Was that ventilated at all in this bail hearing?
The only thing that was mentioned regarding that family house, Diabo, is that it belongs to the father of Mr. Ndou, the accused Mr. Enoch Ndou, where he stated that that's one of his residences, which is even officially stated in court as residences where he would stay. But what we understood of record from family members and community members is that he stayed in that homestead with his older brother's children, the deceased, two brothers, with the wife of one and the children of one of them. So the family dispute came from the ownership of the house, and we have not had any further details in court in terms of what further transpired. Diabo.
Pimani Baloyi, excellent and comprehensive reporting there outside the Malamulele court is where the Enoch Ndou has been denied bail. This was for shooting and killing two of his nephews, the wife of one of the nephews and the couple's 4 children.